Thank you, Ryan, for the introduction. Also, thanks, Michael, for the presentation earlier. That makes me think I should start with telling him a story. So just adding to his story list, we do have like companies across insurance, software, education system that are running Cloud Foundry for a decade, and like we have them for it's almost 10 years. So I'm Dr. Gao, COO of FiveTwenty.
And I'm Kevin Rutten, who's been with FiveTwenty and a whole bunch of other Cloud Foundry. I've been with you guys since 2015.
Okay, so looking back last year this time, FiveTwenty and 99 announced the rebirth of Stratos. Back then, it received excitement from the community. And this year, this time, we are bringing the audience the progress we have made during the last year. On this page are the contributors. I'm not going to pronounce each name because I'm not very good at it, even I know some of them.
But we definitely do want to give a shout out, and we would love to have the 99 people up here with us because they're making the PRs as well.
Yeah. So basically the progress is made from both front end and back end. In front end, mainly focus on the Angular upgrade and also V2, V3 upgrade. On the back end, in addition to the V2, V3 effort, also fix some CVEs and the bug fixes. So in the next maybe 7 or 8 minutes, I will just stand here, time Kevin. He doesn't usually talk much, but when it comes to technology deep dive, he talks.
Thanks. We've been updating the Stratos project for a while, and we've been making some progress, but the front end in Angular has been the Achilles heel. We were able to get up to Angular 14, but any attempt we've made to get past that has had breakage in theming and packages. So we can see why the previous team who was supporting this, they were working on this too, and it's really, really challenging because it was written very, very tightly to the CF version 2 API. All the views and models were just based on those data packages. So thankfully, FiveTwenty has some good people, and Norm and Tristan have been taking over the slog of getting Angular. Basically, we were trying to get it up to 16 at the middle of the year, and we said, well, it's just so much work, we're going to go to 20. We're just going to dump all the libraries that are incompatible, and we're just going to go step at a time, page by page, button by button, and fix it. So if you have a look on there, right, we have the 2 screens on 14, and on 20, buttons are missing, the scrolling didn't work, menus aren't there, and every single page we have to fix multiple pieces of the UI to make it even functional. But that's what we're going through right now. So that's the front end. That's the slog that Tristan's doing. The back end, written in Golang, is a lot smaller, and it's been great. We have it on the latest version of Golang. We have patches from the 89 people for support for databases with SSL, for binding services, for better tagging. We fixed the CF SSH bug, finally. We found it and we fixed it. We've mostly been using Postgres in our testing, so when a bug came up in MySQL, we missed it and we have fixed it. Also, the build system is a pain, but I've been working now on ARM Max, so I can build it in 2 minutes instead of 30 minutes. So the front end is still using a lot of V2 APIs, all V2 APIs, and so I added some instrumentation to figure out which ones they're using. And all the logic for the API is in the front end. The back end is actually more middleware. It's a tunnel of proxies, stuff goes through it. So the front end very tightly. So we can't really update the front end very quickly. So we're kind of stuck. And that's why at CF Day North America, you haven't seen very much progress since then because we just have a roadblock. Well, everyone in Europe probably, if you're over 40, recognize these two screens. And something, this model here, very popular, everyone loved it. The next model was even better, but it took a long time to get stuff compatible with it because stuff broke. But this gave me an idea. Why don't we emulate the V2 API? So every request that comes in, the middle will check, is it a V2 API? If it is, it'll now translate, go to Cloud Foundry, grab the V3 data, translate it back into V2, give it to the front end. So V3 stuff is passed through, V2 stuff is intercepted and emulated, and now we've broken the dependency of updating the front before we get V3 compatibility. So as we go through, I can actually give you a little bit of a demo. So the screen size has changed. So let's just go back here, console. And actually, now I'm going to, sorry, screen size changed, so I got to do this. And up. So here is our wonderful just a moment, boop. There you go, that's better. So here is our front end, and we're going to go here to Cloud Foundry, and we're going to click on stacks, and I'm just watching for the stacks keywords. And right here, the raw query came in for V2, and then we're doing a request for V3. We're converting it, and now we're returning it back to the front end as V2. So let's go back here. And we've only just started this, but we've already got 2 of them emulated. And right now I'm going through the code to do a little bit better error checking and have a flag to turn it off and on for development. But this means that Tristan can keep working on the front end and all the V2 stuff and change and fix all the buttons without delaying the V3 upgrade. I can now work on the V3 upgrade without having to worry about the front end because he can use the old back end with a new front end. I can use the old front end with a new back end, and Norm can test both of them together to see if there's any regressions. So we've just started, but we're going to go through and emulate all of them. Any of the ones that we can convert in the front end to use V3, we will. And once we have a green checkbox in all the rows going down, any of the columns, we're V3 compatible. And the third column, Jetstream version, the V3 API is a bit chatty. There's a lot of GUIDs that you have to look up. So what we're going to be doing is for anything that the performance goes down, we'll actually have a Jetstream version that will do all the calls to get the information that V2 did so that the front end doesn't have to make multiple calls. So the Angular update is going to be moved forward on V20. We have a version up on GitHub in Angular 20/experimental. We can work on both of them in parallel. And we're just writing a V2 emulator so that we're no longer blocked by the Angular update.
Okay, so for the future plan, we will keep contributing on the Angular upgrade. We will keep contributing on the V2, V3 migration. As I know some people laughed when we see that diagram, only 2 green mark, the rest are right. So that also call for actions. If you can do PRs, please welcome. And then at the same time, we would like to add design the UI tests to help detect regression. We highlighted this is because during the last year, one of our clients, a big client, upgraded their Stratos, break some feature they have. So we want to make sure all the clients and the end user doesn't experience this in the future. At the same time, we would like to adopt Tailwind CSS on front end. So FiveTwenty cares about long-term partnership we care about public relations. So please submit PRs. Okay, so I realize I need to explain my joke. Public relations, PRs. So please do submit PRs. And I will promise work on my joking skills, so next time I don't have to explain my joke. Thank you.